Why are men considered silver foxes? And we go silver and we're what, cougars? I mean, what's the name for us when we go silver? We're not silver foxes.
No.
Men are considered more distinguished, It's a great look on them. Not so much on us unless somehow we change that belief inside ourselves, which then becomes a ripple factor, I believe. I think that's possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How are you?
Oh, it's so good. It's so wonderful to see you again. Yeah, and look at you.
Well, this is where we are.
You did it. You did it.
Well, I didn't do it alone. I had a lot of help, and I think I was counting up 16 hours and 3 salon sessions to what we call a fast track. I'm calling it that because it's faster than waiting for it to grow out, which would be a year and a half, maybe.
Mm-hmm. At least.
At
Yeah.
least that.
Yeah.
Now, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. I still have a difference in color between my silver and the salon manufactured silver, but it is livable.
It makes the transition so much easier. You saw pictures of me going dark here and then light, 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 and that was a long time coming. And so now you've made it so easy.
So this is one option that we want to present as Susan went through it the traditional way of just letting it grow itself out. And I wanted it to happen quickly, but the downside is it's very hard on your hair. I have very coarse hair, it's thick. And my hair has a very different texture after 4 bleachings and 4 tonings. And I worked with a professional who took his time, and he was a good team member, which we'll kind of touch on later because that's really important to feel like you can trust that person.
For sure.
I mean, that's huge because once your hair is under the bleaching the 3rd or 4th time, if they're off by even a fraction time-wise, your hair could be burned off.
Well, and that's why I ended up going to my hairdresser as well, because once I got to here, it was like, okay, I think I'm ready to have someone blend it for me. And he was able to blend it for me. I wasn't in the chair for 16 hours, but I was in the chair for 4 hours that day. And he was able to blend it and bleach it and tone it and do everything.
Well, and you were probably, you probably had 6 inches maybe of color that he was dealing with?
Yes.
Where I had, my hair was quite a bit longer and I only had maybe an inch grown out. Of color.
Right.
So that's a pretty massive difference in what they took on. Plus, I think my hair was darker than yours.
I think so too.
Right?
Yes.
And so you've got decades of color that they're bleaching out of the hair that is now protein that is changed. Apparently, since I started this process 6 weeks ago, my hairdresser and I discovered something called K18. So I've been using that on the bleached hair. I guess it regenerates it. We'll find out. I'll know more next time. He was using Olaplex, which I think is the standard.
I've heard of that. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that.
Therapy. Yes. We're not here to sell products.
No. I have been using the shimmering lights, I think. And so I'll use the shampoo only maybe once a week, and then the conditioner as well. And I bought the mask also, and I'll throw that on. But also I'll mix it with a Trader Joe's mask, a conditioning mask, and just kind of put that on the ends of my hair.
Right.
So, yeah, we're not selling anything. We're just trying to.
That's it. We're experimenting.
See what works.
And we're sharing with you the process of someone who did it the traditional way and someone who fast-tracked it. How do you choose a stylist if you want to fast-track? How do you know you're ready to fast-track your hair? Because emotionally, you need to be ready for this process. Not only is it the first time 8 hours in the chair, second time 5, third time 3. That's a lot of time commitment, not to mention the cost. It's extremely expensive compared to letting your hair grow out. The other thing that I'm surprised at, and now I understand it, is how much maintenance is required to fast track it.
Right.
I'm going to spend a lot more time and money in my stylist chair than you will by letting it grow out. And it's a choice because I don't want to wait a year or 2 for my hair to grow out. I want it to be platinum. I want it to be silver right away.
Right.
So,
and it looks fabulous.
You're very sweet.
And I said, are you used to it yet? And you said, no, I'm not. When I look in the mirror, I still don't feel like I'm looking at
true.
myself. And so
Yeah.
that is a big change.
When I look at our last video where my hair was just starting to grow out, it was still the brown color that I'd been used to. That's what I'm used to. I'm not used to this. And yes, in some ways, it makes me look older. And the other thing, and we want to talk a little bit about that because there's a whole lot around that we're seeing on the Facebook page and just in general, as we're aging in a culture that doesn't really value us getting older, we tend to feel a little invisible, maybe a lot invisible. But that whole thing of what's wrong with accepting being older? Right?
Nothing is wrong with that. This is who we are. Every birthday, we get a year older. Embrace it and have fun with it. And
What is the option? We're going to be upset that someone in our close circle doesn't like it. Well, that's really none of their business, is it?
that's on them.
It totally.
It truly is. It really is something that you have to be comfortable doing. And if you're comfortable doing it, somehow that inner confidence comes out that by golly, I am doing it and this is who I am. And if friends fall away, then friends fall away. But what a silly reason for friends to fall away from you.
Well, maybe they weren't really friends.
Or they're struggling with their own
And there's that.
self-esteem or confidence, or gosh, well, now that she looks like that, we're the same age, and so people will know I'm dyeing my hair and she's
Right.
gone natural, and it can get a little bit complicated that way.
And come back to people will know because I think if we're so many of us were raised to be concerned about what other people thought. I'm not saying you shouldn't be. I'm just saying at the end of the day, who walks in your shoes? Who wears your skin? Who has to live in your decisions? I've since had my 70th birthday since we
That's
started
awesome.
this, and that wasn't a milestone birthday for me like 35 was. No, I think 35 was harder. But what has happened is I think I was really ready to go silver. I was tired of dyeing my hair. My body's aging. My hair is aging. I'm as healthy as I can possibly be. I think I've got at least 2 or 3 more decades ahead of me. And time is more precious now and it's more meaningful. So life in itself is just getting better. What's wrong with that if the trade off is getting older? I guess the bottom line is we're seeing a lot of people posting that they're being criticized for going gray. And we want to just maybe bring up a little bit of a red flag that okay, if you're feeling criticized, is it really something that even matters? Is it something to take a look at letting go of that the criticism is saying much more about the criticizer than about the criticizee? The person being criticized isn't having the issue until they hear something from someone they care about. And then all of a sudden,
It's so true. And how ridiculous is that? That someone would be criticizing you about your hair color.
where do you think that comes from? When someone thinks they have the right to tell you a personal decision you've made, that their opinion isn't positive of that.
It comes from them.
Thank
It's how they feel about themselves. And so truly, you can't take it too personally, even though it could be from a loved one, a mother or a sister or something like that.
a husband. Hopefully
A
not,
husband,
but
right, or kids maybe.
Right,
Oh, you look like
right.
a grandma. Well, I'm of that age. I could be a grandma.
Susan and I are lucky to be healthy. And you're just now in your 60s.
59.
Oh, you're not quite there? See? Don't want to push her.
You're forgiven.
But yes, thank you. But that in itself, our age and our culture, I've been in show business so long where people don't give their real age. And I never have been one to hide it.
Right.
I've never done it. But it's a real big deal not to give your real age in show business. Why? Because you're considered what at a certain age?
Yeah, less valuable.
That's right.
Less valuable.
And who's considering that? It's us. We're making judgments on each other. So I guess this whole conversation isn't about anybody doing anything wrong. It's about maybe it's time to open our minds just a bit more. We've just been through over 2 years of COVID. Good grief. We're coming out of it now. And who doesn't feel the freedom like a breath of fresh air?
Right.
So let's use that opportunity to clean out thinking habits that are not helping us.
And we did. We lived through COVID. That's kind of a big deal. And so now, boy, let's go.
And let's pack light.
Mm.
Let's jettison the stuff that weighs us down. I love the word buoyancy. If something doesn't feel buoyant in my world, and judgment doesn't feel buoyant, judgment feels like a separation. Man, I have to separate myself from you because I think different from you, and you're not doing it right, and I think you should do it this way. There's nothing about it that feels buoyant to me.
Wow.
And sometimes it does cost a relationship, unfortunately. But then if you look at how many years you got and you don't know how many you got or even how many minutes you got, do you really want to spend them trying to make somebody else's picture of happiness, which you'll never do anyway?
True.
Can you ever really?
You can only control you.
Right.
And how you react to things.
Do you see how this is a cyclical, unending conversation? And the reason we wanted to bring it up isn't because we have the answers. It's because we want you to think about where your happiness really is, where your buoyancy really is, because life is just too short for you not to have that freedom to make your choice every way you want it. So it's not, last time we said, well, it's just hair. It's way more.
A little bit more. Also, we've been reading, obviously, on the Facebook page just about how some people have been criticized or how they're reacting to that, and how maybe we as a community can help each other.
Yeah.
When I go to work, I see lots of people at work, and I have started complimenting all the gray-haired women.
Yeah.
So I do. I just, hey, your hair looks great. And they're like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yours too. And so I just think as a community, if we're not getting the support within our own personal people, then we can do it for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Any gray-haired person that you see that is on
Right.
their journey or even completed their journey, you can go, hey, you look great. You look fabulous. Love your hair. I'm doing it too. It's a kind thing to do. And I think we need more kindness.
I agree. Are you considered a baby boomer?
I'm just on the very end.
On the end.
Yeah, I was born
boomers.
in 1962, and I think they go to 64.
I think you're a bit of an outsider, though. I'm right in the middle of it at 50.
I'm not a hippie.
No, I was. I totally was.
I thought my mom did say that I was her little flower girl.
Oh,
so I do
did?
kind of lean that way.
All right,
But,
so we'll let you in.
yeah.
But what's happened now is the boomers, those of us that lived through the 60s and 70s and did live through the hippie era, we're in our 60s and 70s, right? And so those of us who have managed to have healthy lives that are, dare we say, happy, fulfilled lives to a great degree. And that doesn't mean, boy, I've had my share of being on my knees and to hell and back, basically. And I'm not there now. So at this point, I want to take every opportunity I can to reinvent myself, which means I need to let go of anything holding me back. Anyone, anything, any belief, any job, any situation in my life that doesn't help me be all I can be.
I love that. Being honest with yourself about your hair color, I think, is a good beginning.
I think it's way bigger than when we met. I had just made a decision to go gray. I was barely in that mode when I saw you across the room.
Yeah.
And then we just couldn't stop talking, the two of us, until we had to separate and go our separate ways. And it has sparked the I know for me, you tell me if this is true for you, just a sense that this decision took me a long time to come to. I've thought of this for years, going gray for years, but boy, it wasn't an overnight thing.
Mm-mm.
And when I finally made the decision and you showed up and the conversation showed up, now I'm realizing, well, if it was this hard for me, this can't be a solo thing. This must be kind of indicative of what a lot of women go through.
I think for sure that a lot of women are going through with this, obviously, right now. And it was something for me that when we had the lockdown, it was like, boy, if I'm ever going to do it, now's the time to do it, because I felt like I was like a salmon swimming upstream to try to keep dyeing my hair. Then once I did it, I felt an independence about it.
What would tell me more about that?
Well, I just felt that not everyone was doing it yet.
Right.
And it was like, well, by golly, I'm going to do it. And I felt really proud about that.
Yeah.
And it just gave me a sense of independence, freedom to just kind of walk my walk. And I just feel like you're saying a little bit more buoyant.
Yeah.
that there's just a little more, I don't care what anyone says.
Right.
I don't care what anyone thinks or what they're saying behind my back. Because what a lot of people are saying to my face is, wow, your hair's beautiful.
And you
And
didn't
that's fine
know
too.
that was coming.
No.
You did not
No.
know that was
No.
where you were headed with this. You followed an impulse. The timing was there, the impulse was there, and that's kind of what I did. So the impulse is, we're kind of guided by that. I wanted to just kind of discuss this a little bit if you're sitting on the fence about it. I don't think it's the kind of thing you want to make yourself do.
No. I mean, obviously, because I had obviously thought about it, time after time, week after week, month after month. But then the time presented itself, and it's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I made the decision, there was no going back for me either. It was different than you, but there was an independence about it. There was a feeling of, I'm going to be free of those thoughts that were keeping me doing that. But now who am I? Now who is this person? And that's what I'm discovering now when I look in the mirror and I go, and I've never regretted it. That's an interesting thing. I've had no regrets after going silver. I don't wish I could go back to brown. But I'm trying to understand what it is around this that's difficult. And I think part of it is just our culture, because we are relegated to senior citizen when we go silver.
Certainly. But also, I see more commercials on TV where they have women who are in that transition. You've seen them too, that it's becoming more acceptable.
I agree.
And acceptable. What a silly word that is.
But you chose it. Let's explore for a second.
Right. Why would gray hair not be acceptable? I mean,
precisely.
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous?
We were taught that. For example, there was a time when people believed the earth was flat. I was not alive then. But for a long time, people believed the world was flat. And it wasn't. So there's another belief we have, and you may not have heard this, but the color black, people think it works on everyone. It does not. If you look closely, the color black will age you. It will make you look tired. It will make you look drawn if it isn't a good color for you. But we have this overwhelming belief that black works on everyone. We need to look a little deeper. And I think the same is true about silver hair. And the other thing is, why are men considered silver foxes? And we go silver and we're what, cougars? I mean, what's the name for us when we go silver? We're not silver foxes. No. Men are considered more distinguished, It's a great look on them. Not so much on us unless somehow we change that belief inside ourselves, which then becomes a ripple factor, I believe. I think that's possible. The thing is, it's not just about hair, is it? So what we were thinking is we would like to hear from you. And the way we'd like to hear from you is in short video questions, well lit with daylight, or, you can use room light, but we prefer daylight just by an open window. Under 10 seconds if you can do it. So think about it before you start speaking. Susan's going to make sure that there's something that she wants on the site. But the more video questions we have, the more we can incorporate in one of our videos, and we can speak to exactly what your questions are around anything. It doesn't have to be what we've been talking about. Do you want to add to that?
No, I just think to be more engaged with our community, I think would be beneficial for all of us.
Yeah.
Right.
We want to see you. We want to hear you. You can type it, you can text it, but it's so much more user friendly for me. If I can, I'm very audible. Yeah. I need to hear your voice, and I want to see how you move, and I want to hear your expression. And especially there are so many fascinating women, ordinary women living extraordinary lives. And that's what we think we are. And so we think you are too. And we want to hear from you. So anytime you feel ready, we're kind of opening the window for that, right?
Yes, for sure. Yes, I do want more engagement on the page, because I think we're all benefiting from the page, just reading everything. But I think to have a video, which is what we've started doing through Sandi's expertise, because she was kind of the driving force for this, and I'm grateful for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's my joy.
So we do want to hear from you. We want to hear what your struggles are, what your challenges are, what your questions are. I think also positive things. hey,
Absolutely.
I was at the park and somebody came up and said, great hair, and it made my day.
Yes.
You know,
Anything like that you're wondering if this is something that you might need a little bit of input about. We'd love to hear from you about that.
we certainly would.
Yeah. So I think that's it for this time.
Wonderful.
Oh, it's been
Yeah,
a joy
it's
being
always
with
so
you.
great to see you, Sandy.
It's been
Yeah.
fabulous. Thank you so
you.
much for being with us, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.